Got to make sure it was connected. Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm not going to be with you long. I kept saying that I was going to get this particular stretch out the way and never got around to it. And we're going to go ahead and dive right to those of you who are currently present. God bless you. Good evening. Hello. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight we're going to be talking about speaking life to your speaking life, period. Making sure that we are mindful of the words that we speak, mindful of the things that we say, the things that we confess, the things that we talk about, the things that we sign off, the things that that are important to us. So we often remember that there is power in our words. Of course, many of us know that the Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you, and again, if I didn't say it at first, I'll say it now. Happy holidays to those of you who are tuning in, and you are listening to The Stretch with Latonja Worsham. Good evening. I know it's late, so I won't be with you long. It's been a very, very long day for me as well, but I wanted to make sure that I kept my word in doing the stretch for this week. Of course, I'm coming to many of you all from a book that I've been sharing with you called Successful, I forgot already, Successful Women Think Differently. And of course, we know that successful women and men think differently. If you're looking to, or you're seeking success, you already know the significance is always more than success, always much more important than success. You're not going to be someone that's seeking success, because success always looks for fans, but someone that is considered to be successful, or shall we say someone that is significant, is always understanding that you must be significant in order to reach to a level of success. So tonight we're talking about speaking life. When you look in the mirror, what do you say to yourself? I've always asked you the question, do you say, hello, champion? Good morning, champion. Champion, how are you today, champion? What's going on in your life today? I see some people sending me, good evening, how are you? God bless you. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving to many of you. Happy Thanksgiving to many of you. I've been running around with my daughter today, so we've been running. But anyway, we had a wonderful time. Happy Thanksgiving to you. God bless you. So again, there's power in our words. There's power in the words that we speak. And tonight we're going to talk about some choices that we oftentimes make when we choose to speak words that are not words of life. Even during this holiday season, we dread certain things happening. Oh, I just dread this time of the year because this happens. I dread this time of the year because that happens. She always does this. He always does that. This never happens. This never takes place. We never do this. This never happens this way. Well, that's not life speaking. And when it comes to speaking life, there needs to be, particularly if you are a believer, there needs to be expectation of something better happening in your life, something better taking place in your life. But those things can only transpire once we begin to say the right words. I read something today, or I heard someone say, if you're not ready to transform, it'll come back to me. But, you have to be able to be someone who's willing to transform your thinking. Be ye therefore transformed by the renewing of your mind. Every day we have to renew our minds. And in order to renew our minds, and when we renew our minds, the right words come out of our mouth. So what goes into your brain, of course, comes out of your mouth. Because again, we are like sponges, right? You're listening to The Stretch with Latonja Worsham. Good evening. And I know it's late, so I won't be with you long. So number one, one of the things we want to do is begin to expect more, is what I'm getting at with number one. And how do you expect more? Well, with your words, you expect more by saying, I know today is going to be a great day. I know that I have the ability to speak life. So therefore, it's going to be a good day. Whether it's looking like a good day or not, when you look out the window, what you say has power. So you want to begin to speak life. To succeed at a high level, you must start expecting more. How do you expect more? You expect more through the words that proceed out of your mouth. So you want to be mindful that your words have power, and that there is life and death in the power of your words. Are you expecting any form of healing in your life? Then you need to begin to speak words that pertain to healing. I am healed. I know I'm not taking away from the fact that you may be dealing with an ailment of any kind or any type of affliction, but our words have power. Just like music is therapeutic, our words are therapeutic too, because you have to be mindful of the fact that what you say, you will have. And also, too, keep in mind, too, when you fear, what you fear, oftentimes you can draw to yourself. And that's something that doesn't even exist. So we have to begin to speak words of faith, right? So anyway, I'm not here to go there necessarily, but I want you to begin to speak life to your life. Also, too, you can't speak something to people that you don't have yourself. So if you don't have life words flowing out of your mouth, how can they flow to somebody else? Okay, so we have to be mindful of what we say about certain situations, about certain people, about certain, and we've all been guilty of this. So we need to understand how important it is to speak life. So also too, we can't focus on obstacles. When we focus so much on what's going wrong versus what's going right, we begin to speak words that even add to what's happening that's wrong. Well, you can counteract that with words of life, with words of wisdom. We're smarter than we give ourselves credit for. You need to understand that when you look in the mirror, God created something wonderful. And what he created in you was uniquely made. You were uniquely made in the likeness of God. So he desires that we speak life, because the life that he planted on the inside of us. Remember, we're living organisms. Therefore, we have the ability to speak life to our lives, even during this holiday season. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling some kind of way, are you sitting there mute and not speaking back to those negative thoughts that are coming against you that says, my life is just such a horrible thing? Well, what about the good things that you can speak to your life, to other people, to shed and spread love to others that makes them feel loved? A lot of people who don't love themselves find it very difficult to speak life to others. I say, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all, right? As my mother used to tell me. So, we have to focus on opportunities. When we speak life even to the obstacle, and begin to change our perspective as to how we're looking at something. You'll find that, yes, I am very repetitive, because I don't believe that when you speak to 100 people, that all 100 people get what you're saying. It's only a percentage that actually get what you're saying. And then it's only a certain percentage of people that actually think about what you're saying. And then there's another certain percentage of people that's only going to think about doing what you say. And then last but not least, it's probably 1 or 2% of people that are actually going to do what you're saying. And that's only if you're saying something effective, okay, or impactful to the lives of people. But tonight, you want to emphasize speaking life to your life, because if you speak life to your life, when I wake up in the morning, I need to make sure that I have the right affirmations in my life, that I seek the best for my life. I think good thoughts towards other people. Good evening. How you doing? I believe nothing but greatness lives on the inside of me. I know that I am true to myself. I am a good person. I speak life to my life. I speak healing to my life, even though it hasn't yet manifested itself. I am a real person. I speak my truth. I speak words that are authentic. I speak words of wisdom. I am intelligent. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am lovely. I am lovable. I am liked by many. Whether you are or not, speak life. Speak life to your life. As you begin to speak life about other people's lives, it makes it easier for you to speak life about your life, okay? So don't be a counterfeit. There's a lot of people out there that say a lot of things, but they're fake dollar bills. They're like $3 bills. They're not real people because they're not true to themselves. They don't know who they are. They're still trying to identify who they are, but you can't put a whole lot of time into people that are still seeking who they are. You just got to work on yourself. That's why I tell people all the time, don't be so consumed about what somebody else is or isn't doing. Get consumed with who you are and what you're doing and what you've been set here to do. I asked a lady the other day, I said, why are you here? And I wasn't asking her why was she present. I was asking her, did she understand why she was here on this earth? Why are you here? What did God send you here to do? What and why do you exist? What were you sent here to do? We have to ask ourselves this. What were you sent here to do? Why are you here? When do you plan on doing it? Where are you going? And how do you plan to get there? And do you speak life to your life in order to fulfill these things that really get you to the area of fulfilling purpose? Speaking life to your life, adding to your life. Speaking life to your life adds to your life. So when I say, fear, you have to be careful about fear, because sometimes fear will keep you from speaking life. Well, if I speak life to my life, something's going to happen. Oh, if I say good things, something bad's going to happen. Well, guess what? If you're always saying bad stuff going to happen to you too, because you've drawn to yourself that which you fear. But fear can bring a halt to the blessings. Fear can bring a literal drawbridge and bring a wedge to the blessings that you were just about to partake, but because you spoke against it, it could not come to fruition because of the power of your words. Understand this. There is power in our words. If I say, oh, I'm so afraid that this might happen, well, you may have drawn to yourself that very thing that you're fearful about. Don't be afraid. Understand that you have been given authority to speak life, not only to a dead situation. Think about that. You can speak life to a dead situation. Let's think about what kind of situations those could be. Could you possibly speak life to a bad relationship, and that relationship begins to blossom because you changed your words? Even what seemed like a dead situation, okay? A relationship with a child in your home, in your family. Speak life to that thing. Speak life to an illness, an ailment, a circumstance, a misunderstanding. Are you speaking life to it, or are you saying they just don't get it? Well, start speaking life that one day they will get it, that they will understand, that they will come to the knowledge of understanding that there's no need for us to have unforgiveness between us. Let's just begin to grow and live and move and breathe and allow God to have glory in our lives as we begin to speak life, right? Also, too, I choose courage over fear, right? I choose good relationships, but I speak life to those relationships. And I also speak life to relationships that either need to blossom or to be released. But there's life in the coming and going of people in your life. Everybody doesn't have to stay in your life forever and evermore. Sorry, they don't. They don't have to. They just don't have to do that. And that's their choice. And that may be life to them to let you go, or life to you to keep them in your life. It's just speaking life into your life to grow and to build and to restructure and to refine who you are, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to become. I hope this makes sense to you, because when you understand what you're saying, you also have to think about, what are you absorbing? Are you sitting in front of things that you absorb that make you say negative words? Okay? Make you say negative things. You're listening to the stretch tonight. And again, I won't be with you long. Hopefully, this is helping you. Also, too, accepting criticism and growing from it. Because you might say, well, some people don't necessarily speak life to me. They always criticize me. Well, criticism can also be considered feedback. I think I've shared that before. Some criticism can be considered feedback. People who are around you who actually tell you the truth. And that truth is life to you. It's just difficult to swallow the truth. The truth of the matter is ... Okay? Being willing to actively receive feedback that you can use and grow from it. Okay? So sometimes it's not bad, but sometimes our limited perspective is not enough. We have to use our failures and our mistakes as learning tools. So we may have made mistakes for years saying the wrong words, not even understanding, particularly as a believer, that you have the ability to draw good things to your life, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things that are of good rapport. Think on these things. What things do you think about? Think about what you think about. Are you thinking right now? In other words, think about what you say. Do you speak life about other people? Do you speak life to your life? Do you speak life about your family? Do you speak life about your friends? Do you speak life about your spouse? Do you speak life about your relationships? Do you speak life about your job, your boss, your interactions with people? Do you speak life about something that you thought you saw, but you perceived it being something else? Therefore, you spoke death to somebody, not even understanding what really happened. When they are a child of God just like you. Something to think about. Do you speak life about that individual? What are you talking about? What are you confessing? What are you professing? What are you expecting God to do in your life, but yet you got your mouth on somebody else? I'm just saying, speaking life involves speaking not at people, but to them. Not just talking about them, but speaking life and believing God's best for them. Speaking life, not just to your life, but speaking life for what you're believing God for. I used to tell my kids, don't talk about anybody else's kids, okay? Because I'm still raising y'all to some extent. So understand this. We've got a lot of growing to do as individuals in this world alone. And it's great when we can learn and mature ourselves to a level of learning how to say kind words about people, kind words to one another, kind words about one another. I'm learning with you. I always tell you this with the stretch. I'm learning with you. Okay? So anyway, last but not least, to know my purpose and take daily action in the direction of my vision. What is my vision? What am I expecting God to do? What am I speaking towards my vision? Do I see it coming to pass? Am I believing God's best for somebody else's vision? Do I support other people with their vision? I expect other people to support mine, but I don't speak life to theirs. You don't speak life about anything that anybody else is doing, but you desire somebody to pour back into you. Speak life to you. Speak life, give you everything. But what are you giving back? What are you pouring back into other people's lives? What are you saying to the situations that are around you that seemingly are negative? Your mouth can turn a situation around just by the power of your words. And again, I'm sleepy. So I might say this particular stretch may self-destruct in a matter of a couple minutes because I'm so tired tonight. But I just wanted to keep my word to you and make sure that I shared the significance of speaking life tonight. And I hope and pray that it's blessed somebody and that it has helped someone and help you understand that we're all here for a certain purpose to fulfill whatever God has assigned you to do. And whatever God has assigned you to do, begin to speak life to that thing. And begin to understand that God still wants to use you. Yes, you. In an area that I can't do. In an area that no one else can do. In an area that no one else can perform or entertain or to be a blessing or to speak on or to preach about or to speak in front of people. And by the way, when you come on these platforms, there's never a right, perfect way to do anything. I got people all the time saying, well, what you should do is, and I get that. I've got mentors in my life, so I know what I should do. So thank you. And, I pray that the stretch is always a blessing to you. I believe during this holiday season, one of the reasons why I believe God placed on my heart to talk about speaking life is because there's so much turmoil. There's so many people afraid out there saying, I'm not going here and I'm not going there because I'm afraid this might happen and this is happening in the world and that is happening in the world and these things are going on social media. Well, these tools are tools to help push what is good as well. Use this tool, and I encourage all of you who know the Lord in particular, all of you who are doing great things in the community, all of you that I know personally that are making an impact out there, come on these resources and begin to speak life into people. Begin to speak life to young people, because these are tools that are free. These are free tools right now. I don't think they'll always be free, but these are free tools where you have the opportunity to speak life into someone else's life. God has put a word in your mouth that can change lives. To youth, young people, get off of here saying things that aren't wholesome to somebody else and begin to speak life to your friends. I encourage you. I challenge you. I challenge everyone that's listening to me right now. Use this tool to stretch somebody, to stretch them to be greater. Don't be afraid to say, oh, well, my hair don't look good enough. My makeup's not right. I'm not at the right place and time in my life to do that. No, God said, if you open your mouth, I will feel it. I can't tell you how fear tries to grip me when I come onto Facebook Live. It says, oh, you don't have on the right this or that. The devil is a liar, okay? I want you to know. Use what you have. Young people, you don't have to take your life because somebody says something ugly and humiliating to you. When somebody says something ugly to you, you begin to speak life. Well, I think you're great. Well, I think that you're wonderful. I think you're beautiful. I think one day me and you are going to become good friends. I think that you don't have to talk to me like that because I'm a human being. Let's figure out how we can get along. Amazing, isn't it? Use these tools for good. And you don't have to use these tools just to preach the gospel. You don't have to use these tools to hurt anybody. You don't have to use these tools, and I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all of these social media platforms. Use them for good. Teach people what you know. Speak life. Teach people how to love again. You know how to love real good on people? Speak life. And use these tools to help people become better. And that's what God placed you on this earth to do. I know that's what he placed me here to do. So again, this is Latonja Worship. God bless you this evening. Use what you got. God said, that which I've placed in your hand, put your hand to the plow and begin to run and begin to stretch and begin to expand. Wherever you are around the world, happy birthday to some of you out there who's had birthdays, celebrating, having a hard time in your life. Begin to use what you have. Be a blessing to somebody and watch God begin to bless your life because you were willing to sacrifice your time, your talent, and your tenth, and your resources, and your ability to speak life to life and watch a dead thing be brought to life. The Bible says, there was a scripture in the Bible that talked about, can these dead bones live? Yeah, if you begin to speak life to them. instead of speaking death to other people. Begin to speak life. Don't stand behind closed doors and talk behind people's backs. Speak life to them. Speak life to the dead situation. You don't like something? Be smart enough and strong enough and courageous enough to speak what you're saying behind closed doors in people's faces. It's only a coward who speaks behind closed doors. Anything I gotta say to you, I'll say to you in your face. Because you know what? There's no fear in sharing what truth is. And there's no fear in also getting clarity about what truth really looks like. So I just want you to know it's important to speak life. Because love prevails in all situations, right? So anyhow, I won't keep you, but again, this is Latonja Worship. God bless you. Thank you for joining me tonight for the stretch, speaking life to your life. You want to do that? Change your perspective, change your outlook. Always remember to take it to the max. Speak life and begin to stretch yourself as you begin to stretch others. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.